Good morning from my part of the world. Good to see everyone here. Just going to check in with speakers. Tom, are you there?
Hello, yes, good morning. Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome, thanks for that. Let's see here. Kasplex, Chris, are you there? Chris, if you can hear us, you've been invited to speak, so you should be able to accept that. I'll just try this again. Here we go. Chris, are you there? Great. And last but not least, let's see here. Junwin, are you here with Kef? I'll send another invite to speak. That's okay. Okay, well, she'll get that soon. And there we go. Junwin, are you here with us?
Yes, just connected.
Great. Okay. And Osen, I did add you as a speaker too, just in case you want to chime in. We did have Chris Hutchison from Rock the Caspa, who was scheduled to do the hosting, but he had such an amazing meetup in the UK and talked his voice away. So he's got no voice, but you know, not to be outdone by his brother. Tom here is taken over. So he'll be hosting, asking questions, and I'll be in the background if needed. But I'm just going to pass this on to Tom. And I believe the main speaker will probably be Chris and maybe Junwen. And then we've got a whole list of questions to go through. So it'll be a full AMA. And I also have a very important surprise. Well, it's probably not a surprise, but announcement at the end. So stay tuned. All right. So Tom, I'll just pass this over to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, Chris is here with us, but just unable to speak at the moment. It was a very good meetup, and yeah, he definitely did a lot of speaking on the day. So, but I'm happy to take over. So pushing forward for today then. For today's AMA, we've invited Chris, the co-founder and project manager of Kasplex, to answer everyone's questions.
Hey, hello everyone. Great to be part of this AMA. I'm Chris, and I'm the project manager and co-founder of Kasplex. I'm sure many of you have been hearing a lot about Kasplex through various channels, especially the Twitter topic about KRC20. Some of the guesses were indeed accurate, but others may not quite spot on, so I'll first introduce what we are working on. For our team, we are a non-profit organization founded by Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation. And Kasplex is our first project that aims to act as an infrastructure on Kaspa to allow developers, artists, and influencers to launch their own project easily on Kaspa. Some people may confuse KRC20 with Kasplex. Actually, KRC20 is our first protocol based on Kasplex, allowing for the minting, deployment, and transfer of fungible tokens. We will also create more protocols based on Kasplex in the future, such as KRC721 for non-fungible tokens. Similarly, other developers can also build more applications based on Kasplex because all of our protocols and tools are open source and free to use. Therefore, Kasplex is not equal to KRC20. There are so many other things you can do with Kasplex beyond just issuing tokens. Just like what was shown on the roadmap we released last week, we will kick off the open beta this month, but we will have a 1 or 2 weeks closed beta before the open beta. Also, the white paper will be released this month. So if you are interested in Kasplex or want to build a project on it, you can follow our Twitters and check out the latest updates. Thank you.
Cool, that sounds great. I did take a look at the website earlier on, looking over the roadmap. All looks very exciting. So for the public beta in May, will support from Rust nodes be needed?
Actually, since Kasplex use regular pay-to-script hash transactions, there's no need for Rust Kaspa support for the deployment, minting, and transfer of tokens. Actually, we have already created some KRC20 tokens with a Go node for testing purpose, but this data will not be carried over to the open beta. We will eventually define a block height after which the deployment of KRC20 tokens will be considered valid. But one thing is, for token trading, it depends on a feature called partially signed transaction, which is only supported in Rust Kaspa. Therefore, if you are a developer and you want to build a marketplace or DEX, the prerequisite is that you have a Rust Kaspa node.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you very much. Talking about the marketplace, will the Kasplex marketplace be launched at the same time?
Well, we have our official websites where you can check status like balance, holders, total supply, and transaction history of KRC20 tokens, but we will not provide a trading service on our website. In fact, we have verified at the code level that token trading can be achieved through partially signed transactions. Also, implementing a DEX is technically feasible. However, our team wants to focus on expanding the use cases of Kasplex. There is still a lot of work waiting for us to complete, so we won't be involved in application layer development. But we will provide certain useful APIs. We have contacted some wallet and Kaspa browser developers who will also support checking KRC20 balance and trading. And we also welcome more people to join our community to create marketplace and more applications on Kasplex.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's very exciting. So what advantages does KRC20 have compared to other token protocols?
Bitcoin has many assets Bitcoin has many asset issuance protocols like Atomicos, Ordinals, Ruin, Stamp, Colorcoin. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages. However, if we truly dive into it, the data is actually whitened through OP return, bear multisig, redeem script, or witness script. There isn't really anything new. And because of the need of track the flow of UTXOs, it has caused a serious increase in the size of the memo pool. So the primary principle guiding the protocol's design is to avoid imposing negative effect on Kaspa. Unlike certain protocols that contribute to the UTXO block issue in Bitcoin. Our goal is to let Kasplex become an infrastructure for Kaspa. When designing, we focus more on how to deeply and long-term integrate with the Kaspa ecosystem. For example, the additional gas fee mechanism for KRC20 can enhance miner stability, and the design of eliminating UTXO tracking can solve the UTXO bloat issue. Also, users don't have to worry about accidentally spending their assets. Our goal is to ensure that assets issued based on Kasplex will have long-term value and will not depreciate due to the possible emergence of new protocols in the future.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you for that one. And then what is the extra gas fee mechanism?
The extra gas fee mechanism is when you deploy a KRC20 token, you will need to pay a higher gas fee. We set this fee to 1,000 CAS, but we may modify this value when official launch. For minting tokens, the extra gas fee is set to 1 CAS, where token transfers and trading do not require any additional fees. All gas fees are paid to miners. This mechanism can bring a lot of benefits, like preventing malicious development of a large number of tokens, reducing the generation of redundant data, and improving the stability of miners.
Well, yeah, I think that's a really good idea. It'll definitely help the miners and keep things a lot safer from the sounds of it. So I've had some questions come through from the community. If you don't mind me passing them on to you, is that okay? The first of which would be how to participate in the closed beta.
Well, our closed beta is aimed at users with technical backgrounds to discover potential bugs. We will invite some wallet and browser developers to participate in the closed beta. You should know how to submit transactions through code to mint KRC20 tokens on the testnet. You can also get more information by joining our upcoming Discord channel. It's very important to note that test data will not be retained for the mainnet, and the participants in the closed beta will not receive any airdrops in the future. For users without technical backgrounds, you can still visit our official website to view the status of KRC20 tokens on the testnet.
Okay, that's great. So if, say, for example, I can't help with the closed beta, is there any other way that I can contribute to the Kasplex community?
We will set up a Discord channel recently, where you can join it and discuss the future direction of the protocol. And if you are an influencer, you can launch your own token or empty collections. I believe that every little action counts in our community. Whether it's launching a project or just posting a tweet, the fire burns high when everyone brings wood to it.
I like that saying, fire burns high when everyone brings wood to it. Very good one. That sounds interesting though. So rock the Casper token maybe. So another question then, does it rely on a centralized indexer?
Well, this is a hard and good question. Currently, we have still in the early stages. Similar to other token issuance protocols on Bitcoin, we rely on an indexer. But it's not accurate to call it centralized because you can easily review the code and set up your own indexer. And if you run your own marketplace, you will definitely make sure that the data's validity. Also, we will generate checkpoints after processing certain blocks to maintain consistency between indexers. This step is part of our preparation for establishing a more decentralized indexer, and this will be the focus of our work in the next phase.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for that one. So moving on to another question from the community here, which is, what benefit can CAS holders get from Kasplex?
It's hard to make people aware of the technical advantages of Caspa. So I think the biggest benefit is that with Kasplex, more users can directly try out our apps instead of obscure technical jargon. Thereby, they can experience the cutting-edge technology of Caspa and bring more users to Caspa. Additionally, to use these apps, users need to have some CAS. So the demand of CAS will go up. I can't predict the price, but I believe this is a positive factor for CAS holders.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to think so. Again, no one knows the price, but the more people involved in the project, more people involved in the community and the ecosystem, you should hope that it will, everyone will benefit from it. So I have another question here, which is, what is the practical use of Inscription?
I think inscription is a very generalized concept. It can represent many things. If you know about the USDT, the first tokens were issued in 2014 on the Bitcoin blockchain. This was done by using the Omni layer protocol. It is also a type of inscription because Omni protocols inserts metadata into OP return output. And most of the layer 2 rollup solutions need to write data back to layer 1. They also need a mechanism like inscription. So Kasplex can be used as a component of layer 2.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. I've got another well, there's another two I've got here, but to be honest, I think one of them we've already answered. So I'll ask the first one, which is to ask the Kasplex team to expand on if there will be something like an orderscan.com, like Etherscan for inscriptions, or will the community need to do this?
Well, in our own official websites, you can check the balance of all the KRC tokens and the transaction histories. But we will also provide some APIs so you can build your own like KRC20 explorers or other things. We have the basic functions.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, answers that one. So then the other question, which I think we have already kind of covered, but we'll see if there's anything to expand on, which would be to expand on like marketplaces or the user experience for buying and selling. Is this something that you're going to be taking on, or will it require the community to build this as well?
We will not run our own marketplace because we will focus on expanding the use case of Kasplex. So developers can create their own marketplace by using partly signed transactions.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So that's all the questions that I have anyway, but I'd just like to ask if there's any questions from the audience as well that might come through.
You'll need to raise your hand if you're not a speaker, or if you are a speaker and have a question, go ahead.
Hey guys, this is Wolfie. Thanks for working so hard on alternate use cases for Caspa. And I just had somebody in Telegram message me and just ask me, it's not like an urgent request, but during the next couple of weeks, as you go along and you continue to develop, they'd like to see just some more screenshots of, the inscriptions in action, a few screenshots of maybe with some test out NFTs or tokens just to see what it's going to look like.
So my connection is not well. Could you repeat the question?
Sure. Yeah. Just a community member from Caspa had asked if during the next week or two, if you guys can add a few screenshots. You can while you're working on it with maybe the beta, you can take some screenshots and show some examples of what the test out NFTs or tokens might look like. They just want to get an idea of the layout and the feel of how the things are created, or something like that. Just a general couple of pictures so they can get an idea how it's coming along.
Yes, we will publish our white paper on Gitbook, and we have all the examples, pictures, and APIs and points where you can find all the information you need. And we will publish the paper in this month.
Oh, okay, that's great. Yeah, there's people very anxious to see what it looks like. So I appreciate your hard work overall, and thank you for that great piece of information.
If I may, hey, this is Kaspador. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I'm very curious, and maybe I missed that, and I apologize for it. But how do we actually apply for the closed beta? Can you explore on that a bit, please?
We will run our closed beta on TN11 testnet. Since in the closed beta phase, you don't have any wallet support for the KRC20. You have to submit the transaction by code. So the closed beta is for developers and other people who have technical backgrounds. And we will set up our Discord channel recently, and you can join our channel and apply for the closed beta.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Any other questions? Just raise your hand or request to speak.
I do notice about very interesting question in the comments. Maybe I can raise some.
Yeah, if you could go through those if you see them there.
A very interesting one. First will be what was the 1,000K fees, cost fees for? Also, did you mention the DEX is possible once Kasplex is released? This is from the Hosty. Yeah, maybe we can answer that.
So when you deploy a KRC20 tokens, you must pay a higher gas fee. We currently set this fee to 1,000 CAS, and all the fees is paid to miners.
Yeah, from what I understand, I could also add some. Yeah, so for the 1,000 CAS, it's actually for the deploy. Like once you want to create your own tokens, you need to actually pay for 1,000 CAS to actually do so, and this fees will be goes to the miners. And if you want to mint the tokens from other created, you will actually just pay 1 CAS. And if for the transaction, I think it's 0, right? And also, and the answer for the DEX is yes. Once the Kasplex is released, you will be able to create a DEX up on top of it. But I think that will be wait for phase 2, right, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Crypto J actually joined us. So what's the question for Crypto J?
No, apologies. I fumbled with my phone when I joined and I misclicked the button.
Anyone else have any questions? I see RNDR has a question. You could speak now. Or please, Ham, you can speak. You might have to repeat that. I think we missed the first part.
I would like to know, is there gonna be some stablecoin integration? Maybe?
Chris?
Stable what?
Stablecoin.
In my opinion, stablecoin is more a law question, not technical question. Since USDT first issued on Bitcoin is also by inscription technology like OP return output, but we have to solve some law questions, not technical questions.
Yeah, but technically, like we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from my opinion, like once the Kasplex actually in played, and later the kind of have the technology to actually support the stablecoin to build on the Kaspa, I think. Yeah.
Sure. So to summarize, it's technically possible, but you have to bear in mind that the stable coins are, other entities. They would have to engage and participate and agree to use our network to do this. I think is how it would go down.
I saw a very interesting one. So first, the token can be launched on Kaspa, and what is Yonata's dog name or cat?
I think Jonathan's pets, that their names are classified. It's top secret.
But we could actually look forward to it.
There's been a few more that have been added to speak. If you could just chime in.
Hi, yeah, I have a question. I'm just looking at the Kasplex.org site, and I can see that for June, the roadmap says the KRC 721, which has been discussed, and a KRC 20. And then it says other proposals. So I was just wondering, what are the planned other proposals for June? Hopefully,
We have two proposals. The one is KRC20 and the other is KRC721. But after these two proposals, we will create our community, and everyone can join the community and talk about what can we do next. So it's everyone's idea, then we will decide what other proposal is.
Okay, so but based on community feedback, if I understand that correctly.
Yeah, I also add my opinion on it. Maybe just correct me, Chris. So for the June one, for the KRC 721, that will be actually NFT that can be issued, which also answers the one of the question asking when we'll actually have the possibility to have the NFT on the Kaspa to create it. So I think June will be actually support that part. And the second will be like by KRC20 or KRC 7201 with CAS. That will actually refers to the DEX, I think, because right now what can be actually do is the marketplace, which is order book. So people actually just post their orders, maybe 1,000 come ABC coin, and people just can only directly buy 1,000. If you want to buy like 10, you need to find the like corresponding orders in the marketplace. So with the DEX, that which can be able to build after June, so people can actually just buy what number they want for different tokens. That's the DEX can be applied after June, I think. Yeah, and of course, yeah, the proposal that will be just Chris mentioned. It's based on the community, like which functions you guys want to build, or the so you just can raise and can be actually built together. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
A couple others can speak. Go ahead if you've been added to speak.
Hey, quick question. And you can go after. I'm sorry if I interrupted. Quick question, might be an obvious answer. I love that there are some higher fees for larger tasks such as token issuance. That's helpful for the miner and the project as a whole in the future with the security budget. My assumption is that any miner that wins a block can participate in these additional fees. Is that correct?
Yes, all the fees are for miners. When they mine new blocks, they will refill the new block rewards and also the gas fees.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. My question is just around KRC20 and inscriptions, and whether you're going to try to minimize the amount of data in the inscriptions by referencing objects out on IPFS and things along those lines. So kind of keeping the blockchain for referencing rather than storing a lot of data.
Sorry, your voice a little lower. Could you please speak a little louder?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, my question was around KRC20 and whether you're going to store references in the inscriptions to services like Interplanetary File System, IPFS, rather than storing a lot of data on the blockchain itself.
So you asked where to store the picture assets in the KRC 721 or KRC 20?
That's probably something you can answer for me, but I mean just transactional data in general. So yeah, keeping the inscriptions short and referencing external storage, decentralized storage.
Oh, we use P2 hash to store the data in the blockchain. So the data is stored in the redeem script, which is 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 OP4, so if like ordinary inscription. Actually, we have two ways to store data into the redeem script. One is OP drop, the other one is OP false, and we will show all the examples in the white paper.
Okay, great. Looking forward to that.
Any more questions? I'm not seeing any requests right now. Go ahead, chime in, or if you're already a speaker, go ahead and ask.
I have something interesting here. This is Wolfie, guys. Thanks again for working hard on the alternate use case for Caspa's great network. And speaking of that, most of our fans and hodlers are aware that we have the Testnet 11 going, which is the 10 block per second. You know, the 100 millisecond block time, very fast. I saw that you guys were even already working on that system testing on Testnet 11. I'm looking at one of the tweets here from yesterday, and it looks very interesting. Several small bugs were discovered and resolved. So you guys already are adapting the Kasplex protocol to the Testnet 11 fast block time on Rust. Is that correct?
Yes, but we will also open beta in this month, and since most of the functions do not rely on Rusty Caspa, but for token tradings, it depends on it rely on a Rusty Caspa function called partisan transaction. So we will run our open beta this month. We don't have to wait for the Testnet 11 to the mainnet.
Okay, that's great. And I just to follow up on that, this is just a general question. So obviously, I've been chatting with you guys a little bit in our Telegram room for Kasplex, and you know, it's obvious that you're very sharp developers. I don't know your history of how long you've been writing code and doing computer science, but just from your experience when you came to work on Caspa, how remarkable of network technology is the Caspa overall to you? Is it very like can you appreciate the breakthrough technology that's present in Caspa, and does it make the user experience of the KRC-20 very very enjoyable and like an internet-like experience? Just like search on Google and the answer's there. Start a movie on Netflix and you watch the movie right away. Is that how the user experience with making tokens and trading on the DEX and the NFTs, will it be a similar like instant type of confirmation, do you think?
Yes, I think the biggest advantage is every transaction can finish in less than 1 second. Since if you use Bitcoin inscriptions like BRC20s, you have to wait the transaction confirmed in at least 10 minutes. And when the blockchain is congestion, you have to wait even an hour or more times. So I think when we open beta or Kasplex, people can really experience the cutting edge technology of Caspa.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I mean, it really is an additional tool. It's like a new way to experience how fantastic the technology is. So I really personally thank you for putting in all this effort and coming up with something, you know, a way to use the network that wasn't possible before. This is fantastic. Thanks for your hard work.
Thank you.
What? You hear?
Go ahead.
My mic is not.
Sounds like you're having issues there, Joanne. Tom, if there's any questions in the chat that you see that we haven't been answered, maybe you can pull those up, and anybody else can request to speak here. Black Tiger, go ahead.
Sorry to intervene. Until Black Tiger manages to unmute himself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
A couple questions. So when is Testnet 11 being released to the mainnet? I got a lot of people on YouTube asking, and I was trying to figure out, is there a date or a set schedule? I saw that it mentioned that you guys were testing, so that's kind of why you didn't want to push it all the way out. I think you guys were cleaning up some bugs or something.
So that's not, sorry to interrupt here, but I can answer this one. So thanks for asking the question. So it's a little difficult to discern from looking at that post, but so the Kasplex guys are not working on the Testnet 11 node software themselves. That's a Kaspa Core product. So what they were doing was they were trying the Kasplex protocol on the Testnet 11 10 block per second network. So they were using the fast network, which is known as Testnet 11, but they weren't working on the actual software for Testnet 11. They were seeing how their Kasplex software interacts with that high block rate network.
Okay.
As far as when it's going to come out, it's been stated multiple times by Michael Sutton and probably Ori as well, the two of the core Kaspa developers, that you know, there's no real set time for the fork to the 10 block per second rate. It's just going to have to be, you know, vigorously tested on the Testnet 11. Then most of the you know, we're going to have a all Rust network. All the nodes on the mainnet at 1 block per second will have to be Rust, and then there will be a version of Rust that has a predetermined block height, even though they don't call it, I think they call it DAA score. You know, a time when everybody speeds up 10x to 10 blocks per second. So these guys don't have really anything to do with that. And you know, the exact date and time has yet to be determined.
Okay, thanks. Another question, and these KRC20 tokens, how will we be able to get them? And I'm not sure if you guys covered this already. When will we be able to get them? Because they mentioned you can use these to mint NFTs, right? Making sure I'm going down the right path here.
Sure, that's right. Yeah, so the beta for developers starts in 2 days, I believe. Yeah, the 15th. So that means you know, like just people who are going to be making things like a Chrome extension maybe, or like their own decks where you can do exactly what you're asking about. And that will extend for the last 2 weeks of this month. And then if things go according to plan, on I believe the end of this month, the beginning of June, it's going to open up, and there'll be some places where you can perform these activities and websites to showcase the new technology.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Thanks.
So I'm just going to quickly jump in and say I've been looking through the comments. Haven't found any new questions yet. So if you are a listener and you do have a question, please chuck it in the comments, and I can read it out for you.
Tom, I think one was from LD asking about the Discord link that Chris was mentioning, how we can get it and from where.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. I haven't seen that one yet, so yeah, I'll ask it. So for those looking to join the Discord, how will we find the link? Is there a way to join it that you could let us know, please?
We'll announce our Discord channel in our Twitter. Maybe in the Kaspa main Discord is a sub channel.
Do you have a date for that, Chris, or a time day that you'll or will load up that channel? Are you anticipating a day?
I think it is before the open beta, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Maybe in 1 or 2 weeks, but it's definitely before the open beta and white paper.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, I think this maybe no more questions, but I would like to also raise the point, like, appreciate Kasplex team, their efforts, like hard working to actually doing these things, because I know kind of well about this team, and we actually kind of talked a lot, and I personally really appreciate everything that they did, and I kind of like very excited about it. The reason why, because I can do some hypo there, because what they actually build is really build to the ecosystem building things, because before, like, it's only mining, right? And right now we actually be able to actually doing interesting and fun things on top of it right now on Kaspa. And what actually really excited me is about the stablecoin. I really want to actually say something about it. It's because I just feel like it's super excited, because like from what we know, like USDT actually it has like already issued like 100 billion, I think, yeah. And in the Tron 20, which actually has saying like the cheapest or the is cheap transaction fees, so it has actually around like 58 billions USDT on there to actually for the daily transaction. But hey, like Kaspa actually has a really low transaction from compared with Tron, right? So if later we have the USDT or the stable coin on the Kaspa, that will be super, I would say, awesome thing. Like really actually optimistic things like I can imagine like in the future if Kaspa has the stable coin. Yeah, that's the things I want to also like would like to share my excitements about, like how later things can happen on Kaspa. And also like that will also help miners for like everyone like having like more active transactions, and more incomes will be given to miners, because those actually all the transaction fees, deployment fees, those are all given to the miners. So that will be actually really great things for us to actually see the later ecosystem building things. And I personally really like kind of hypo on that. Yeah. So again, like I really want to appreciate what the efforts they are done, and it's also like kind of want appeal or attract more builders in the community to actually join to build it together to actually really make the ecosystem better. Yeah, and fierce. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Julian. Thanks, Julian.
Go Kaspa.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone else? We're about 45 minutes in, so we can wrap it up. If there's any other requests, we've had a couple requests that come in, and it's creating errors, so we apologize for that. But if you want to type your question in the chat, Tom can grab those, but we'll close it up here pretty soon if no questions come in the next 20 seconds or so. So if go ahead and add questions or request to speak. And if anyone else is still loaded as a speaker and you have a question, go ahead.
So hi, I do have a question. Sorry, maybe I missed this, but first question is when the white paper will be released, like maybe the exact date. The second one, where I can apply for a closed beta. And the third one is like, what is the benefits of Rust for the Caspa?
We will release the white paper in this month, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, in 1 or 2 weeks, and we will set up our Discord channels where you can join the channels and apply for the closed beta. And the third question is, I think the biggest benefit is more users can directly try our apps instead of obscure technical jargons, so people can really experience the cutting-edge technology of Caspa. It's very hard to make people aware the technology advantage of Caspa, but with the apps, they can really enjoy it and see the cutting-edge technology.
Thank you.
Yes, guys, and this is Wolfie again. Thanks for listening. I just wanted to chime in the last of the 3 questions this gentleman just had about the benefits of Rust for Caspa. So I'm not going to go into it at all, but I was going to let you guys know by coincidence, casmedia.com is going to be a website that's launching very, very shortly here. We had one fantastic writer formerly from Binance US named Nicholas Sismill, which many of you are familiar with because he wrote a famous article last summer about how Caspa solves the trilemma. In addition, I recently hired another journalist from Binance US, formerly from Binance US, named Jen, and she's written a fantastic intro article about Rust, everything that it does great, why it's special. It was reviewed and commented on by Shai and by Michael Sutton. It's going to be out shortly, I would say, hopefully in about a week. So if you want to learn more about Caspa and Rust, you'll be able to read the article on casmedia.com. And I just wanted to do a little plug there and let you guys know about that coming up. If you can learn everything you need to know about Rust and Caspa in that article.
Thanks, Wolfie. So a few more have been added to speak. You could just chime in.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, I just wanted to say I'm gay for Caspa.
All right. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I've had a few questions come through on the comments. We can go through. One of the first ones is OKX supporting the KRC20 launch?
Sorry, what?
Is OKX supporting the KRC20 launch?
For this one, I would say stay tuned.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then I've had another one here, which is what are you most excited about for Kasplex?
So I think Kasplex is very responsive and also so for Flex.
Sorry, the voice is not really that clear.
Okay, cool. So we move on to I've got another question here, which is there any early interest from devs about building on Casper, and what do they have in mind?
Hello. I wonder, so is there any news about Kaspa getting listed on main exchange websites?
There's not public news. We're working with some exchanges who are at the top of the ladder, so to speak. So the higher you get towards the top of the ladder, the less they tell anybody, including us, about a listing date, etc. But things are in the works, and nobody's going to be disappointed over time.
Good. Another question that's a bit controversial. Um, does does it have any effect on Kaspa that it is funded by a Jew?
It does not by people who are sane-minded, technology-loving investors. There's always going to be somebody who points the finger or who has a problem with some aspect of anything. But we have a vibrant Caspa-loving community from around the world. You know, we have people from all over the place that love Caspa and love the developers and the team. So it's not something that would inhibit or prevent any aspect of it from flourishing from our experience so far.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Couple
And
more
to
questions.
expound
Oh, go ahead. Go
on
ahead.
that a teeny bit, actually you should be excited that the technology of Caspa came from Israel. There's fantastic medical and scientific and technological breakthroughs historically coming from that nation. So if it shouldn't be seen as a negative, it should be a positive. That's how it looks in my book.
Agreed. Couple more questions. Anyone? Okay. Well, if you have questions, you can ask on their Twitter. You can DM them. Soon the Discord will be opened. I just want to say a huge thanks to the Kasplex team, for Chris and the developers. Thanks, Junwin, for being on here from KEF. And also for Tom for hosting and asking the questions and moderating here. Appreciate your time. Just to let you know, as I mentioned at the beginning, this is a very special day. I don't know if you saw the recent tweet, but we're getting Rust ready. So there's a big push to get all the nodes over to Rust, and later this afternoon there'll be an announcement. So just look forward to that, and it's a huge accomplishment. About 2 years of work. But in the blip of cryptocurrency and blockchain history, 10 years, 15 years from now, it's going to be looked back on as a huge kind of a change in the epoch for blockchain. So just be looking forward to it. You'll see some posts coming in the next hour plus, but this afternoon there'll be an official announcement. And that's all I'll say. Tom, you have anything last to say? And also we'll leave a last word for Chris or Junwin.
Definitely, yeah. I'd just like to say thank you to all the speakers, everyone asking questions. Massive thank you to the KEF and team at Kasplex as well for all their amazing work. It definitely is very exciting times for Caspa. I know me and my co-host Chris is very, very excited for all the things in the future.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you and the inviting, and yeah, look forward, so excited for the future.
Okay. Any last words, Chris or?
So thanks for joining this AMA, and we'll post some news recent days, and looking forward for the for our protocols and our websites, and we won't let you down.
That's great, Chris. Thanks so much. And just from a personal note, I mean, this is Rhubarb Bahrain. If people didn't know who's talking here, I'm not just a giant green K. I've met Chris and their team when we were in Hong Kong, and just want to say how amazing they are, and in their knowledge of Caspa for one, but their excitement and enthusiasm for the future. So just a little personal plug from myself as I've experienced and got to know this team. So awesome job, everyone. And like I said, look forward to this afternoon. We'll have some big news, and we appreciate your time this morning. We've had about 250 people on this space, so amazing. And we'll put this recording up soon, and there'll also be a script posted on the blog on caspa.org with the initial questions and answers. If you missed them, you can read them there, or look forward to the audio that will join that blog post, and we'll post that on socials. Thanks so much, everyone. If everyone want to just give a heart, wave, thumbs up, 100%, whatever, and we'll see you guys at the next AMA. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Take care.
Thanks, everybody. Take care now.